All right. So we are live on YouTube now, or I'm live on YouTube now. And if you're one of the people who watch these recordings after they've already been live, and you're not here in the Discord, then you can move ahead a few minutes and find your way to the beginning. But this is the hangout portion, preparation portion. The temple doors have been opened. The halls of the Discord, the doors of the Discord meditation hall have been opened. People are trickling in, and we will begin soonly. But if you're watching the recording, you won't have the same feeling of waiting in the temple hall, so you can just move ahead a few minutes and find the beginning. You can sit here. So, hello to Zach, Samantha, Robert, Riley, Melina, Kat, nice to see you, Ariel, Bryn, and Anna. Everybody's here. Everybody's coming in. Hi, Nuno. And Justin. How is everybody? Anything to report? Fellow travelers on the path?
Hey Bante, just wanted to say I haven't been in a meditation with you for a couple of months, so I'm excited.
We're here. It's live, you know.
Oh,
It's
my bad.
it seems to be live. It seems to be happening live, but how could I really say for sure? Maybe I'm the YouTube recording. Maybe I'm the recording and the live happened before. I don't know, but it seems that we are gathered here together live, and that is a very precious, wonderful kind of moment to be alive at this moment, right? Um, yeah, so I'm seeing some new faces here, maybe. Bryn, Anand, Anna Sophia is not a new face. Justin, Melina, Sado, Zach, maybe. So if anyone's very new to the group or quite new, why don't you go ahead and say hello and say how old you are and what your experience level with meditation is. If
Um,
so, we're
oh yeah,
starting with
hello.
Anand. We're starting with Anand. Go ahead, Anand.
I'm 17 years old. I'm fairly new to meditation.
Okay.
Yeah, basically a month or so. But it's been in my life, but I haven't really
Okay.
done it consistently until
Okay.
this month,
All
basically.
right. Thank you, Anand. Anyone else? How old are you and what's your experience level with meditation?
I'm Bryn.
Yo, um,
Go ahead, Bryn.
Thanks. I'm Bryn. I'm 38. I've done meditation on and off over the past 10 years through like therapy groups or ADHD kind of counseling things, but I've never really formed the practice, I guess. So
Okay.
I was excited to see your talk the other day.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah. You're here. You're here. Um, is it Zach? You wanted to say something? You wanted to go next?
yeah, well, I'm 20 years old. I'm fairly new. Like I'm a couple months in learning to practice meditation. And it's been good.
Great. Okay. Anyone else?
I'll go.
I can go. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, thank you. So I'm Ariel and I am 24 years old and I am new to meditation.
Great.
I'm Melina. I'm 26. I joined your Discord about a month ago. Sort of fell off the bandwagon, but I'm trying to make this consistent because I've gotten a lot out of it so far. So hoping to keep with it.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm 25. My name is Justin. I have had some experience with meditation, but haven't established a consistent practice. So I'd say I'm more of a beginner.
Okay. So glad that everyone is here. I am Bante Warpanyo. I've been meditating for, about 10 years, and I've been a monk for, I did the math recently, more than 1,200 days, more than 1,200 days that I've been a monk. So a lot of that includes meditation practice.
We have a lot of King's Indians. It didn't look like.
Okay. So we are coming together now, really all beginning from this moment, even if you have a lot of experience in meditation, meditation can be difficult, it can be confusing. If you have very little experience with meditation, it can be very relaxing, very peacifying to your mind, to your experience. So in a certain way, it's really valuable to begin from this beginner's mind. And in that beginner's mind, that kind of open-minded approach to meditation, what's most important is your willingness to try. And to, what are you trying to do? Well, you're trying to meditate. You're trying to face your life, show up fully in this moment, be fully present with what's happening right now. And in doing that, you're going to encounter a lot of difficulties. You're going to encounter some thoughts, some confusions. The body feels uncomfortable. You feel like meditation isn't working. You feel like, oh, this meditation isn't actually for me, or I need a different style, or this or that, or this or that. It's just constant. It's never ending. How we can give up. And so, how we can kind of go and crawl back into our room, or crawl back into a space where we're not facing what's happening right now. That's what meditation really is, that we are showing up and facing what's happening right now. So in that vein, you just need to be willing to try and to sit with, to be with your body, your mind, and this community, this situation that's happening right now is not about, everyone here is like my student or something like that, or that I'm this great master, but it's that these are causes and conditions. This is a situation that is very supportive and very inspiring for us to show up continuously, to try continuously, to encounter difficulty, and then come back to showing up and being here and being present with what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is something that's very personal. It's something that is your experience. It's not like some big story or idea about this Discord or who I am or who the other people are right here, but it's really being with, showing up to your body and mind as they are right now, without adding too much extra judgment or thought or belief or interference. So meditation in that way is almost a process of allowing and being and not interfering rather than doing anything. So you can see that whether you're watching through YouTube, Hoalu, Cubano, JT, Johnsky, whether you're watching the recording or whether you're here in the Discord, there's a lot of people here together who are gathered. And I encourage you to recognize that everyone here is a real person. They have a real life. They have responsibilities. They have difficulties in their body, difficulties in their mind, and they are making the conscious choice. And if you're listening to this, you also may be making this conscious choice, and I'm making this choice to show up and be here at this moment, to be fully present to this space, to this community, but most mainly to myself. I'm making this decision to show up and be with myself right now, my experience. And that's supported by all of the people who are here doing a similar thing. So we can feel a sense of urgency, or so not necessarily like a friction, but a feeling of energy that comes with being in a community, really being with other people. So, we're going to begin with our guided meditation and some Zen teachings soon. But before we do, I invite anyone who is comfortable to do so to please turn on your camera. If you're able to, if it's not a big deal or a big problem to share your camera here in the Discord, then you are definitely encouraged to do that so that we can see each other, so that you can be seen. And it can help us to stay accountable or stay present in the space for the full period of time. So you can consider to share your camera if possible. All right, Robert, good to see you. We're supposed to see many people's cameras flicking on immediately when I mention this. But it's okay. Don't worry too much about it. And for people who are more new to the meditation practice, be ready to fail. Whatever your expectation is about meditation, whatever you want to get out of meditation, you can be sure that you're not going to get that. So in being ready to fail, when you fail, try to not give up completely. So for this period of time, you don't meet the expectation in your meditation, you feel like you haven't really got it, and whatever you failed, be willing to not give up completely, and instead, if you're sitting upright, if you're sitting in a meditation position, okay, just lay down and still stay in the space, stay in this container for this period of time. Start doing yoga, but still stay in this kind of meditation space for this period of time. Don't give up completely, just give up halfway. Just give up as much as you need to, but not completely, and try to stay for this full period. And if you're not able to stay for the full period for whatever reason, that's also completely okay. But just do your best. Try as much as you're able. All right, so let's begin with our group meditation practice, Zen teachings, all of this. Hi there, Paulie. Welcome in. So the first thing for meditation practice is very simple, and that is to find a comfortable and stable position. So find a comfortable and stable position for your body at this time. It doesn't need to be a yoga position. You don't need to be an acrobat. You don't need to worry about it too much, but it's just to find a comfortable, stable position in which to put your body down. And so it's kind of like, think of your body as a cup of coffee. And most of the time you're holding onto your body, right? You're holding onto this cup of coffee. You want to put it down at some point eventually. And finding the meditation position that is stable and comfortable is to find a flat surface in which to put the cup of coffee down. So if you try to put your cup of coffee down on a pile of towels, for example, or an uneven surface, it's not a stable place to put that down. And so you're going to be worried about that coffee falling over, or that cup having an issue. So finding a comfortable, stable meditation position is to put the body down. So you can find that position and put your body down and allow yourself to put the body down. Most of the time we're in constant activity. We're in the activity of trying to get rid of the body and going to sleep, putting the body fully to sleep. We're trying to get out of here. Or we're making something, doing something, cleaning something, going to work. The body's always in motion. So that's our strong habit, is that we're always doing something with the body. But right now, just putting the body down, allowing the body to become a little bit still, a little bit settled. As we put the body down, no longer using it for any activity, we can immediately notice a sense of stillness. And it's kind of curious that we are putting the body in a place of stillness, or that the body is still, but that there's also this energy to the mind. So like this awareness and this looking in the mind. We're not trying to dull the mind in the same way when we go to sleep. So we make the body be still, we lay down comfortably, and then we're trying to go to sleep. But instead, right now, the body is still, somewhat still. And also there's this looking, this noticing, this kind of energetic quality to our mind. So with that energetic quality to your mind, begin to become more aware of breathing. Feeling the breath as it flows in and flows out of the body. During the beginning of our meditation, we can breathe deeply. We can really bring the mind any kind of extra energy or friction, movement, right? That habit to move. Bring all that with a deep breath into the body and into stillness. So breathing in deeply, bringing all of that extra energy to move around, to look around. Breathing in deeply, bring all of that home to the body, being fully aware of the body. And breathing out, really relaxing, releasing, letting go. And you can take 3 or 4 deep breaths in that way, helping the body to calm and settle, relax. If we try to do something in our meditation, we're going to give up very quickly, because you cannot do what you want to do. In the same way that just because you want to fly doesn't mean that you can fly. You wanting to meditate in a certain way doesn't mean that you can do meditation in that certain way. So it's much more so that we are allowing. What are we allowing? We are allowing the body to be still right now, to sit still. We are allowing our mind to prioritize a kind of awareness or presence rather than thinking, rather than doing anything. We are allowing the breath to find a natural rhythm. The breath just flowing in and flowing out. We have very strong habit energy to move, to do, to distract, to go there, to get away from here. When that comes up, once again, we return to this allowing. We allow the mind, we allow the body to come back, to return to just sitting here, being still. And the breath flowing in and flowing out. That is absolutely our own only responsibility. Our only activity at this moment is not to totally get rid of thinking or get rid of the distractions that come up in our mind, but to allow this coming back to take place naturally. Being with the body sitting in stillness, the breath flowing in and flowing out. And when the mind or body does get distracted, or we feel that strong habit energy of movement, of thought, of judgment, preference, when that comes up, and it will, we allow that habit energy to come back to a place of stillness, awareness. Returning to being aware of the body sitting here, somewhat calm, somewhat still, stable, and the breath flowing in and flowing out. And we may start to notice more aspects of the body. Maybe it's a feeling of tightness or just a sensation in different parts of the body, like the foot or the knee or the back. And we once again rely on our allowing rather than our preference or our making decision about the feeling that we have. We kind of notice that feeling. We look more and more closely at it. The breath may become more interesting, more vivid. We may feel the heart beating. So allowing this process of breathing, this practice of breathing, to be our primary activity. just breathing and noticing, becoming more and more aware of the body as a whole sitting here and all of the interesting aspects of having a body. Becoming more and more curious and interested in being with this experience, being with the body. The power in our meditation, the success, the good effects that come from meditation. It's all about our willingness to be with, okay, we're just sitting here somewhat still. The habit mind comes up again. Okay, I tasted meditation, now it's time to go somewhere else. Yeah, that comes up. We feel that. We notice whatever the thought is, whatever the sensation in our body is, we notice that, we're aware of it, and we come back, we allow the body just sitting here in stillness. The breath flowing in and flowing out. Breathing in a natural way that helps us to be comfortable, to be still, to continue. And the main activity of this self, this mind, this ego, whatever you want to call it, is not emptiness or, getting rid of anything or becoming enlightened. The main activity of this self, ego, mind, whatever, during meditation is being uninvolved with the content of our experience, mental or physical, and instead to be involved with noticing our experience. Just breathing, the body sitting, noticing. Noticing each and every aspect, particle, feeling of the breath as it flows in and flows out. The more that we are willing to allow this practice of simplicity, give ourselves this time to be totally simple, totally curious, just sitting, just breathing, Just following the breath as it flows in and flows out. Feeling the breath in the body. Stretch out that willingness to be with simplicity. We can't meditate forever. This isn't about becoming perfect. But as you touch this simplicity, as you touch this stillness in a sincere way, when you notice that that complicated mind in motion, friction mind comes up, starts to drag you away into tension or sleepiness, just notice that and come back. Come back to just sitting, just breathing and being aware. At any time that we feel confused, overwhelmed, we feel like, oh, I was meditating, I did get it, but now I don't have it. I lost it. Now I can't do it anymore. Whenever that kind of mind comes up, notice it, look at it, face it. Don't be shy to experience that. And then just breathe. Just breathe and be with what's happening. But don't make your focus or what you are involved with to be whatever's happening. That thinking, right or wrong, that preferences. When you find yourself to get in that confused state while you're meditating, while you're trying, you just come back to just breathing. You're just breathing. That's the practice. And once again, allowing yourself to rely on and be with just breathing, just being aware. Even if stuff hits the fan, even if there's a grenade that goes off in your mind, that's life. So just breathing with whatever's happening right now. Just being aware. It's really important that we understand that it's okay to adjust our posture. It's okay to adjust and experiment with the way that we're breathing. It's okay to kind of check in when you're doing meditation and be like, okay, Bhante, relax. Don't overthink this. Don't, talk to ourselves, to adjust, to experiment. And then as we make that adjustment, we come back to simple meditation method practice. We're just sitting somewhere still, somewhat still. We are breathing and aware. Now, how is it possible that we can approach it this way? It's possible because our meditation practice, success in meditation, is founded on consistency, not intensity. It's founded on allowing, returning to, coming back, not a special experience. We're not here to have a special experience. We're here to be with the breath, the body, the heart. And we're here to kind of stretch out and experiment with our ability to do that, our human ability to just breathe, to just be aware, to just be simple. We can totally give up any attachment to intense experiences, positive, negative, success or failure. It's not important. What's important is to stretch out your way of just being, just allowing, just being with the breath, the body, the heart. Sometimes in a meditation, we might feel like a deep, special experience. We think we're entering another realm or something. It's not important. We might feel, oh my goodness, I have a really bad pain, or oh my goodness, there's this memory, there's this part of myself that's coming up. Yeah, it's okay. It's not so important. What's important is that we know it's okay to be with what's happening right now. That whatever is happening right now is not permanent. And it doesn't exist separate from anything else. It just appears that way. Whether it's the boogeyman or Guan a being of great compassion in your heart. We didn't have to attach or get stuck or get confused by any experience, but instead learning how to experience from this place of an open heart and a deepened mind. Just breathing, just being aware. Okay, so at this point in our meeting, I'm going to read some Zen poetry, some Zen Buddhist poetry, and you are encouraged to continue your meditation, but also you can be more, you can relax. Don't hold yourself in too much of a strict position, but still keeping this opened heart and deepened mind, staying with your breath and your body during this reading. So we'll read just a couple poems, and then we'll finish with a final Zen teaching. And you might not fully understand the context of the poems, but you can just try to listen deeply. The text that I read after this will be much more digestible and understandable. To glorify the way, what should people turn to? To words and deeds that agree. But oceans of greed never fill up, and sprouts of delusion keep growing. Plum trees in bloom cleanse a practitioner. A garden of fruit cheers a lone monk. Those who follow rules in their huts never see the way past the mountains. Movement isn't right, and stillness is wrong. And cultivating no thought means confusion. The Buddha didn't have no mind in mind. Any thought at all means trouble. A hut facing south isn't so cold. Chrysanthemums along a fence perfume the dusk. As soon as a drifting cloud starts to linger, the wind blows it past the vines. Don't think a mountain home means you're free. A day does not pass without its cares. Old ladies steal my bamboo shoots. Boys lead oxen into the wheat plants. Grubs and beetles destroy my greens. Boars and squirrels devour the rice. Things don't always go my way. What can I do but turn to myself? So now we'll read a short teaching from a Zen master by the name of Sheng Yen. So please feel free to get comfortable. Don't be tightened up at this time. The title of this short reading is A Life Which Is Never Again Empty. For many people today, life consists of seeking satisfaction in material things. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that they are also spiritually enriched. After all, they are still human beings. Animals only need to satisfy their instincts for their lives to be complete. But people are not like this. If the purpose of human existence were just to satisfy our instincts, what would be the difference between us and animals? Nowadays, everyone is looking to satisfy their material needs, yet the material life can only stimulate or numb us. It can neither purify nor enrich our spirit. This is because the enjoyment and stimulation of materialism is fleeting, very temporary. We might find some relief, but we feel empty after a short while. We share a tendency to scramble for spiritual enrichment whenever we realize our spiritual emptiness. When we feel trapped by our emptiness or our lacking of fulfillment, we turn to anything to relieve the discomfort. Food, alcohol, sex, shopping, and so on. As such, people are trapped in this vicious cycle throughout life. People seem doomed to suffer simply because they seek lasting pleasure. People seem doomed to suffer simply because they seek lasting pleasure and lasting security through self-indulgence and obsessions. They feel this emptiness even to their last breath. What a predicament! Therefore, to increase inner contentment in our life, so that our spiritual life is not so impoverished, we must begin by purifying our mind. However, it is meaningless to speak of purifying one's mind without an applicable practice. And if that practice can't really fulfill our spiritual life, then it is just empty talk. So how then can we increase inner contentment in our life in order to achieve spiritual enrichment? Some people cultivate and improve themselves through arts or philosophy. Artists, thinkers, and scholars might find inner satisfaction when engaging in their works. They might experience the fullest of self-confidence when they are thinking, reasoning, writing, or debating, yet they may feel empty when not engaging in those activities. We may have heard sayings like, "The highest places are the coldest spots." "This is not my time has not come." We can't see our ancestors from the past or our descendants in the future. We can see that philosophers and great people also have their own loneliness. So it appears that their inner lives may not be all that substantial. From the perspective of religion, The inexhaustible treasures of spiritual life are faith, cultivation, and the experience of religious life, spiritual life, having a practice. For us who follow this way, our lives won't be empty and we won't feel lonely. It may seem like I have nothing but myself, but when I contemplate the Buddhas in my mind, they are with me. So when I contemplate the in the capacity to become enlightened, and that people have developed that capacity, people have become enlightened. When I contemplate the bodhisattvas, they are right there in front of me. So when I contemplate kind of great beings who have put off their own enlightenment with the great wish to enlighten all others, and that is to reduce their sufferings, to no longer be deluded in any way. In the same way, when I contemplate all beings are in front of me. When I think of the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss, in that moment I am in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. Therefore, I don't feel empty and lonely. A Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss is a concept in Buddhism and in Zen of a environment, a land, a situation in which all of the conditions, all of the factors around us are directly supporting our enlightenment. So we can imagine, whatever environment we're in right now, there's many things that are barriers for our spiritual practice or not ideal, but in this concept or this idea of a Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss, the environment is absolutely perfect and we can quickly become enlightened. Human life is frail and vulnerable, with great limitations on time and physical strength. Life being short, it is all the more reason to fully and positively contribute ourselves. If we are grounded in faith, that is even better. Now, this isn't a belief-based faith in terms of like Christianity, but it's more a faith that it's more like a trust in the efficacy, the viability of practice, the viability of living a contemplative, introspective life, the trust in the potentiality of goodness and virtue to enlighten, to really end our suffering. So it's not that kind of faith, more like trust. Furthermore, this faith is not empty, as it is gained through real experience and profound understanding. In Buddhism, practice means modeling ourselves on the devotional and generous spirit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. These are basically the archetypes that we utilize in Buddhism. So a little bit Jungian in some aspects. Furthermore, when we practice giving and dedication, our lives are even more fulfilled. So this final quote, in Buddhism, practice means modeling ourselves on the devotional and generous spirit of those people who represent a great embodiment of peace and generosity and compassion. We model our practice after those. We aspire not to the wealth of Elon Musk or billionaires, but the wealth of these great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who have made limitless vows to save beings, to release the sufferings of others and themselves. We model our practice after that example. Furthermore, when we practice giving, offering, generosity, and dedication, our lives are even more fulfilled. So go ahead and take just a moment to make sure you are comfortable. Close your eyes if they are open. Can take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Feeling your mind and your awareness turned inward, turned inside. Aware of the whole body sitting here at this moment. Aware of the breath flowing in and flowing out. Everyone is invited to bring their hands together with me. This is an expression of sincerity and coming together. And repeat after me as we say a final kind of affirmation or wish or offering from our place of practice, from this, all of these merits, this goodness that we have cultivated during this time. Repeat after me. May my practice support my happiness and peace. May this practice support my happiness and peace. May I share and offer the benefits of this practice to all beings. May I share and offer the benefits of this practice to all beings. May my practice support all beings. May all beings support this practice. So to finish, we can do a little bit of a chant. It's just this word sadhu 3 times. And the word has the meaning of well done, good job, kind of a pat on the back. It's a original Buddhist word. So you're welcome to chant this together with me or just to listen. And that's what we will finish our meditation with. Okay. Sadhu. And we can all bow. Okay. So thank you everyone for participating. If you are, beginner with meditation, please understand that this is not a short amount of time to meditate. To be in a session like this for an hour is quite a intensive period of time. So be very gentle with yourself, do some stretching, move slowly after your practice, and don't think that every time that you meditate it needs to be for this period of time. It's just any moment as you are able to return to the breath, to return to being aware, to being present. Um, that's your time to meditate. That's your practice. Okay, do we have any questions? Anyone would like to ask a question?
Thank you for hosting this.
What's that, Anand?
I was just saying thank you for hosting this.
Yeah, this is a community space, and as a monk, this is what I do, and this is my life. So I'm in a good position to facilitate these kind of events, and moving forward, you can consider this to be just like an online Buddhist temple or online meditation center. And I'm not always able to host events because I'm traveling and also continuing to develop my own practice. But the space is continuous, and this isn't unusual, to have 20 plus people who are gathered together for an hour to meditate together. This is a usual for us. So please do consider that this is a refuge, and that is a space that you can rely on and come back to regularly for these kinds of practices, and a space that you can invite other people to as well who might be interested to get involved in something like this. And it's a unique space online, it really is. Our chat, like the general chat, is not always so active. But when you have 20 plus people coming together as a community, with an hour's notice to meditate and to really be intimate in their, to show up fully in their lives like this, that's a really powerful, it's a lot of activity. It's a rare environment that you can find something like that. So yeah, try to take advantage of this space as much as you are able. You can also ask a question in the voice text if you're not able to use your microphone for whatever reason.
Hi, do you mind if I go?
Yeah, Nuno, you have a question?
Yeah. So I just wanted to say to Andats and those who are not here as well, we also have some people that actually host some meditations from the community itself. And it's just beautiful and amazing knowing we still can rely on some other people in this community to keep practicing. It's so much easier. And yeah, those guys are amazing.
Okay, so for everyone here, please do make sure that you, if you're new or if you're not new, make sure that you read the official channels. So the Get Started channel, especially, and then the Resources channel. These are some recommended videos for you to watch, recommended books for you to read, and then also just like something that I wrote about an introduction to Buddhist practice. And read all that and ask questions about it. And it's a good way to. You need to do as much of the work on your own as you're able to do. You need to do your homework. It's not just showing up to a meditation session like this or going to a yoga studio once in a while to stretch. It's really to investigate what you're interested in the resources that are accessible to you, and look into them. And then if you have further questions or you have, I checked out this resource. Do you have something more in line with that? Then that is a homework. That's a question that comes from doing your homework. But you have to do your homework first. And the fact that you're, able to show up here means that you're a very uncommon person to be able to practice and show up in this way. But you have to keep reinvesting. We have to keep showing up and keep investigating outside first in the avenues that may contain wisdom or that we believe may contain wisdom, and that's going to support us to do the real investigation, which is inside. Investigating your body and mind from a place of compassion and openness and non-fixation. When I say investigate, it's not that you're finding like the true story of yourself or your true psychology, but you're investigating your experience at this moment, especially the experience of your body and your heart. You're investigating your sincerity. It's not so much about the content of the mind that we investigate in meditation. It's more about the processes of the mind that we investigate. So our reactivity, or our habit to try and get away from what we're experiencing, or our habit to get something else that we're looking closely into. And sometimes that means looking at the content, facing the content of our mind. But when we do that with concentration and relaxation, not in the normal way where we look at something and then we get tangled up in it, and then we're falling down a hill of our self-identification with some random thought that's, going to go away in a few moments anyway. And for traumas or those kinds of complex sufferings, knots that we encounter, we face them with a metta. We face them with loving kindness. And that's a big aspect of Buddhist practice that you should take advantage of as well, is a metta, loving kindness meditation. And there's a few, let's see if there's I'll post a video for that in the resources or get started, but metta is very important as well. There are certain practices that we can do to develop and cultivate that loving kindness towards ourselves. And it's important that we practice them. Ariel, did you want to say something or ask a question? Okay. Sion, that's right. Meditation doesn't only have to be in a sitting position. We can walk and meditate. We can listen to talks and meditate. That's a really good way to kind of invest a little bit more in our practice, in our searching, in our path, is to listen to some talks while we're doing, cleaning the house or going for a walk or any kind of mindless activity. Listen to Dharma talks, listen to a talk from Ajahn Brahm or Thich Nhat Hanh. Listen to a guided meditation. That's also good ways to practice. And you can find some links to talks and different things like that in the Get Started channel, in the resources. Do as much homework as you can on your own, and then this is a space where you can ask directly. You type, I'm about to go and work out at the gym. What should I listen to? What talk should I listen to? And it's not blind faith. Someone sends you a link and it says, and it's some guy ringing sound bowls and talking about the blue color in your brain getting bigger and bigger. All right, well, now we need to, what's going on here? Is this what I'm actually interested in? But try and ask. And, this space is meant to be a place where you can get quite good answers, quite good standardized resources for guided meditations and Buddhist teachings that are not particularly religious. So ask, I'm about to go to Home Depot. What Dharma talk should I listen to? What talk should? Great, that's perfect. Good. That's a really good question to ask, because it's direct, it's practical, and it's something that someone who does have experience with this, like me, for example, I can give you a good, clear answer for a Home Depot Dharma talk. Yeah. Anyone else have a question or something to share? Right. So thank you all for being here. We'll wrap up, and I hope I'll see you all again soon sometime. Don't hesitate to reach out if something comes up. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's so inspiring for everyone to be here practicing together. So thank you all individually for showing up. All right?
You bet. See you, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
And I'm not forgetting about the YouTubers either, but I can't see you. So I'm also appreciative that you all are here. Make sure to leave a comment and say hello when you join in, so we can at least have a little bit of a point of contact. If you're joining, if you're really a member of this community and you're following along, leave a comment, let me know and say hello. And you can even introduce yourself or leave a comment if you're not able to join the Discord or whatever. Also appreciate you're here when you're watching through the YouTube. All right. Bye-bye.